just sexuality in general, I think is probably the biggest, the biggest bang for your buck, for want of a better phrase, to get like growth and learning about who you are, like your sexual shadows, your sexual kinks and addictions, the things you are taboo about. That's a really obvious area that if you even look at it, you don't have to do anything outrageous, but if you even just start to think about it and talk about it and perhaps gradually step towards it, you're going to encounter so much unconscious material that the amount of change I see people getting in tantra rooms is probably bigger than anywhere else. In terms of like fast track fucking awakening, like talking to the angels and the Reiki end, and that's where I came in. The kind of the ascension model is really beautiful and will wake you up, but going into the like shadows is where you're gonna get speedy growth, because it's like no one wants to talk about that shit. And then money is a really big one, but it's an interesting one because depending on what room you're in, there's a very mainstream like worship of money, and then if you hang out in hippie creative artist healer circles, there's a kind of fuck, we're terrified of money. But somewhere in the middle, there's a like, yeah, but what is this whole thing about? Like I hang out with people who are doing $1 million or $2 million, and they've got to make $5 million, and I'm like, yeah, but why? And there's someone else who is hitting their $5 million, and it's almost nothing. It's just a byproduct of who them being themselves. And there's someone else who's desperate to get there because they think it's going to be something. And it's like, it's nothing to do with the money, it's to do with the anchors. And like there's someone else who won't make more than 30 grand a year because they've got all this shit around it, and they're staying small because of it. So sex, money, what else do you want to throw in there? And actually where I'm moving to now, which because I've gone through all those a lot, is actually like creativity and showing yourself is probably the fucking scariest thing of all of it. I think because, you can go smash in a business and you don't have to be that vulnerable, You can just put your warrior, put your big boots on and just fucking get over it, and battering around your way through. But if you're gonna like start sharing your poetry and your weird art that really comes from deep inside, it's like, that's your inner child showing itself. That's your little, I wrote this when I was really fucking sad and broken. Hey, would you like me to read it? It's like, fuck. That's really scary, And so for me, it's been, like you mentioned, I was doing rap in my early 20s and I was obsessed with it. I was like, I'm going to be fucking famous, I'm going to change the world. And I got to 30 and I was like, I don't make no money, I'm kind of a fucking loser. Like I've kind of bottomed out on what, I love this thing, I'm good at this thing, I've got a reputation in a very small, a few thousand people think I'm famous, and that makes me feel good in my ego somewhere. And then one day I Googled what the median wage was in Australia. I was like, it's 50 grand a year. It's like double what I make. And I'm walking around like, I'm a fucking genius, I'm a creative world changer. It's like, yeah, you make half as much as the most average person in the country. And I was just like, this isn't matching my like Jay-Z, And I was wanting to make like, what I'm starting to make now, which is like weird cosmic wizard rap with an underground battle twist, in like, what are we now? In 2007, the market for that was precisely probably me, And also I had all this shit in the way that I'm not gonna engage with it in a confident business-like manner as well. I'm gonna hang out with like stoner dudes that are all unemployed and like who argue about what's the best album from 1993 and like none of us are fucking going anywhere, So I bailed on that. And so for me now, what I've been doing for about a year is tentatively creeping back into songwriting and performance and doing rituals and this kind of stuff and bringing back all that stuff. And it's like I've had to meet the wounds of my 22-year-old whose dreams got given up on. It's like, fuck, I'm writing something and what's that shit, you shouldn't share that, what are people going to think? And it's like, which people? The same ones that we didn't like in Brisbane in 2004. It's like, they're not going to hear this, what are you talking about, And I'm like, okay, now I've got all these fucking tools and all this consciousness stuff and embodiment stuff, so I can sit there and go, okay, who is that? That's my 20-year-old. But he's really a fracture of my 15-year-old, and that guy's got a lot invested in this, and I'm gonna need to sit with him and like fucking heal him a little bit, and then, oh fuck, I can write a song. And actually the grown-up me doesn't really give a shit what anyone thinks. but I have to do some inner healing of like, okay, there's part of you that really, this is an unhealed dream, and so there's a lot of shit there.